They're literally telling you they can't compete with us. China told you first. I don't know if it was in a regular subscriber video or the members only video. I don't remember which one, but we covered that article where they were talking about how the commercial banks didn't want to push the CBDC. There's no incentive. The intermediaries didn't want to push the CBDC. There's no incentive. The intermediaries aren't making any money, so why would they push it? They can't compete with us. When we come to the table, we say, hey, listen, everybody across the board can make money. That's one of the reasons why the private sector is going to dominate, period. Now we have the IMF confirming it. How much more do people need to see? Wait a minute. What do they say right here? This is the IMF telling you, and it says this. It says, during the adoption phase, right, just the adoption phase, like are incentives going to change? Really, you're going to give the intermediaries a higher percentage of whatever is going to be going on? Are you sure about that? Central banks, then why didn't you have it built in the adoption phase? But let's keep going. It says during the adoption phase, the cost for intermediaries could outweigh the benefits. Why do you have to even say could? Look how they manipulate the language. Could, why go with a could when you can just look at the data from the Bank for International Settlements, Hong Kong Monetary Authority? That is who just told us about their experience, right? That is who's been running the CBDC for quite some time now. I mean, I'm not sure how widespread it is, but they've had a number of banks, working with that CBDC to the point where they could come out with a report recently and tell us what they did. And they were very open about it, too, because they're looking for solutions. See, here's the difference. The West doesn't want to acknowledge this, and all the West associates don't want to acknowledge the problem at hand. They want to maintain the illusion that they still have the power, that they're still in control. No, they're not. The bank coin companies are in control. The new financial system, whatever that is to you, is in control. The top crypto companies are in control because that's the private sector. Those are the leaders of the private sector. That's why you keep hearing about Solana everywhere right now. I got another article where somebody's praising Solana again. Some billionaire or some millionaire, something like that. We'll get into that a little bit later. We're at the forefront. That's why we're getting all the praise. We have all the incentive. Everybody makes money across the board. Retail makes money. The banks will make some money. The intermediaries will make some money. Everybody, when this goes off, everybody makes some money. Not financial advice. Just my humble, smack my microphone. Just my humble opinion. But you tell me, listen, if you believe different, explain to me why. Explain to me why. How? Give me evidence. Give me some articles to look at. Because what I'm seeing right now, everybody, once this goes off, everybody across the board is going to make some good money. That's what they don't want the people to know. Why they're turning so many people against it. Wait a minute. Let's read it one more time. They're telling again. Read it for yourselves. This is from Ledger Insights. The article is titled, IMF Explores CBDC Adoption Incentives for Consumers and Merchants. It says once again, during the adoption phase, that's ridiculous, the cost for intermediaries could outweigh the benefits. Hence, the paper proposes offering some intermediaries exclusive rights. Which ones? And how do you do that for some intermediaries without offending the rest of them? They're going to be like, why not me? Right? And you expect them to do good business after you selectively choose certain intermediaries. You sure about that? Now, how does that compete against what we're going to be bringing to the forefront? What Christopher Waller of the Fed said, hey, people should wait on the private sector. He wouldn't talk about Fed now. He wasn't talking about Fed now. And we had a few other ones come out since that time, which, by the way, if you didn't watch that last members only video, I think I put it out yesterday. Go watch that. And let's say you're short on time. Watch the last watch the last chapter or two. And you tell me what you think is going on. Go look at that because there's something going on. I'm telling you, go look at those last two chapters and you tell me in that comment section, because I see the comments on the members only section videos the best because they're not buried in 1,000 other comments, millions of comments probably at this point on this channel over all the different videos. So I can see them more clearly. But you tell me what you think is going on there. Why is that happening? Right. There's a lot happening. Members only section. Check that out. But anyway, let's keep going. It says other merchant incentives explored include. Let's take a look at this. Subsidies for consumer-facing intermediaries during launch. What did China say? China has tried a lot of different things. The consumers, their customers, don't want it. How do you force it on the people? That's the thing. See, that's a big uphill battle. The people have spoken. They don't want CBDC. So what's happening is they issue the CBDC. This is what they told us. You read the documents just like I did. I put the article out there. They said the people are getting the CBDC and spending it quickly, getting it out of there quickly, liquidating that into cash or whatever else they can use, but they're not holding on to it like what the governments and the central banks wanted them to do. They're not doing that. You can go look at the information yourself. So, because they don't want anything to do with what they believe is going to be surveillance, because we know what the government does. The governments and central banks do. And they're hand in hand. How do you separate the central banks from the government at these points? They're all intertwined greatly. Let's not play that game. The people don't want that. They don't want you surveilling them. They don't want you to be able to press a button and delete their money, whether you could do it or not. That's inconsequential. It matters what the people believe, because that's in the end, you need the people. Oh, I love that part. I love it that in the end, the people can bring those powers to their knees. But that's just me. I'm for the people. I'm not for these big businesses, which is why I'm here to take their money. I'm here for that bank money. I'm here for that big business money. We're getting closer and closer every day. We did it before. It's not like this is the first time. No, we did this before. In the stock market in 2021 with crypto, certain things. We don't talk about everything here. We will do it again. This time, the biggest grabbing of value of all time. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I believe we're heading towards. Things like this you got to pay attention to. It says minimizing costs for merchant-facing intermediaries, allowing intermediaries to charge for value-added services. Here we go with the fees. This is where they start. Once again, this is why they can't compete with us. See, our system is going to be two-pronged. Regular wallets, how do you say that? The offline wallets, cold wallets, and the hot wallets are not going to go anywhere. You'll still be able to custody your own stuff. So there's that, right? So we have that offering. Then on top of that, we'll have the other offerings that go through these other companies, and they'll probably heap some fees on top of it. And they'll probably offer some custody services, which a lot of people will go for. They love that stuff. They love when someone else takes care of their stuff. I'm not like that. I'm going to take care of my own stuff. I promise you that. I promise you. And I'll just leave it at that. I want to say more, but it's YouTube. I can't say too much. But but ours is two-pronged. Theirs solely goes through them and the companies they're affiliated with. They're intermediaries, and they're going to heap a lot of fees on top of it. We've seen it before, like with the offering with, I don't know what they're doing now, but I just remember, I remember when Stellar worked with Visa, right? Stellar was doing some work with Visa via a company called Tala. Look it up. Stellar, Visa, Tala, Tala. Look that up if you don't know about it. A lot of people do. And I just remember, I believe that was the company. When I went to inspect them, they had heaped some fees on top of everything. And I was like, wait a minute. This was a long time ago. Like I said, I don't know what they're doing today. And I hope I'm remembering correctly. But just go look at that yourself. And I was like, what are they doing? Like, this literally negates and takes away from the beauty of Stellar, which is keeping things cheap. They can't compete with us. So what am I saying here? We'll be able to offer something that's cheap. Everybody will want it. We'll be able to offer something that is, we don't care about surveillance or people's data or information. No bank coin company does. You just care about that money. That's it here. Let's give you a product that's the best of the best. And we know the money's going to come. That's just good business. That's good business. If you order some potato chips, I'm supposed to just give you some potato chips. I'm not supposed to give you potato chip with hot chili on the inside because that's what I want. No, but that's what the central banks do. Here, we're going to sprinkle this little chili on top. We're going to put some sweetness. I don't want all that. I just want some chips. We offer people the chips that they want. You understand? For lack of a better word. So now it says, so they can't compete with us on that level either. They're telling you everything right here as to why so many believe the private sector is going to dominate. The fintechs are going to dominate. That's why they had to slow us down. Notice how they tried to slow us down. They still couldn't catch up. This is provide a white label wallet solution that intermediaries can rebrand. That's, pardon my language, that's trash. That's garbage. Rebrand. Encourage. They're going to rebrand this product that's already terrible that people don't want. Instead of letting them just customize. Listen, what we're going to go to them. Ripple's going to go to them. Stellar's going to go to them. Quant's going to go to them and say, listen, we're going to offer you customized systems. that allow you to maintain power and control over your stuff. The same thing we offer to the central banks or to the non-banking financial institutions is the same thing we offer to the regular people. Same thing. Now, with the regular people, it's a little different because you may have to have some know-how, obviously, to customize something if you want that, especially if you're a small business owner. But I'm telling you right now, things are going to be so streamlined by the time the future comes with automation, full automation and streamlining everything. Small business owners are going to make a killing if they know how to deploy this technology. This technology in combination with artificial intelligence, you can't lose. You can't lose. There's no way. And see, here's the thing. A lot of people, we have to let go of our arrogance and our ego and learn, be willing to learn. So you can't just jump in and, jump in the ocean and just start swimming like you're Michael Phelps. No, but you can do classes. There are free classes online about how to properly utilize to the max AI, DLT systems. They offer a lot of this stuff for free, at least they used to. There's a lot of free tutorials out there. And a small, medium business owner could be cooking fully. I'm talking about almost fully automated. Everything's just running itself. It's ordering itself. It's shipping itself. Everything is automated. I mean, the future is looking absolutely insane if you're a small business or a business owner. A lot of you are already that. A lot of you are already successful. And a lot of you are going to probably become small business owners. It's getting so easy now with the internet. It's not like how it used to be. Oh, my goodness. Don't let me tell you how it used to be. Do not let me do that because I'm getting flashbacks right now. It was not fun, folks. So what I'm seeing now, things are much easier. This here is a golden age is coming. Once again, this is why crypto is so bullish right now. BlackRock. Oh, let me not say too much. Wait a minute. We got more coming in this video. I feel great about this video right now. Like some days I feel good. Some days I feel a little bit more than good. Today I feel great about this video. We got something coming up a little bit later. Oh, it's happening, folks. Let's move on from here. I have too many articles today. That happens sometimes. I do. Hong Kong. We have something about Hong Kong here. Oh, look at this, speeding up the timeline. Hong Kong Monetary Authority. Oh, well, let me do it like this so I know where to put the article. And the chapter, Hong Kong expands EHKD. It says the Hong Kong Monetary Authority has started phase 2 of the EHKD pilot program. This is what they were just telling us about. They were telling us about the results of their CBDC project and how the intermediaries didn't want to push it because they weren't making any money. There's no incentive or very little. And very little is not enough for them since they make good money. I mean, let's say you are making, give you a good amount. What's a good amount per hour right now? Let's say you're making about let's say you're making $82 an hour. Okay. I'm just going off the top of my head. Let's say you're making $82 an hour. Would you then want to take a pay cut to make $42 an hour, $32 an hour? No. So this is equivalent to what they're trying to get intermediaries to do. After all these decades of making tons of money, now they want to come in with a CBDC and there's almost no incentive. They're basically making almost no money. Why would they push that? Why would they be for that? And then, of course, like I said, then there's the people problem. The people don't want to use it either. Now, you're saying, well, Mick, is there a precedent set for that? Has this happened before? Yes, it has. Remember the whole I think it was Apple, the whole Apple Pay thing. Remember that? When Apple Pay first came out, a lot of the stores didn't want to carry Apple Pay. Why? Because off the regular credit card transactions, they were making a little bit, something like that. I don't know the specifics, the specificity, but it was something like that. They were making some okay money off of the average credit card and debit card transactions, something like that. But with Apple Pay, they weren't making anything. So a lot of them didn't carry Apple Pay. Listen, I've had the people tell me this, unless they were lying. You tell me, were they lying? Right? So this has happened before. So if they were at one time rejecting Apple Pay in mass, not everybody, but in mass, because they weren't making money, what do you think they're going to do with CBDC? Same thing. These intermediaries are not going to take a pay cut. They want to make that money. So it's like, now, how do they do that? You see, we come in and it doesn't have to be an extra fees. It doesn't have to be. There's a lot of different ways they can make money with us. Look at what Flare offers. Look at what a lot of these staking and delegating offerings bring to the table. Oh, there's a lot of different ways that they can make capital, bring in value. But anyway, so now back to the Hong Kong Monetary Authority. It says the project scope has expanded from a focus on retail. Let me read that again. The project scope has expanded from a focus on retail central bank digital currency. Members, I'm talking to you members only people. Did you make it this far into the video? Does that sound familiar? Uh-oh, what's going on? What, go to members only section. Watch that video. I'm just, if you want to know. Anyway, it says, I'm telling you, some things are happening right now. It's getting hot right now. It says to encompass tokenized deposits. So there's a rename to EHKD plus. 11 groups of firms are exploring use cases. Who are they? Give us names. Why didn't you give us names? That's suspicious to me. I ask questions. My father told me always ask questions, making I do. So it's including the settlement of tokenized assets. He also said, here's a random little tidbit my father told me. He said, never let anybody get in your punch range, Mick. Right here, this arm right here, that's your punch range. Don't ever let anybody get, for self-defense, don't ever let anybody get within your punch range. They look like they're trying to be aggressive with you. Just a little tidbit. I'm just saying, if you get in that range. Anyway, programmability and offline payments. As part of the project, the firms will explore the commercial viability of potentially making available these new forms of digital money to individuals and corporates. Both technical and legal aspects will be explored. Listen, we already got a lot of data from this. Now, what they've been doing with a lot of these CBDCs, this was released 10 hours ago, by the way. What they've been doing is releasing them into specific targeted areas. Sort of like, I think the one that's been covered the most is what they've been doing in India. So in India, they've taken away. And this is what we read in articles, okay? If you're in India, you can let us know if this is real, if you're in those regions. But the article said they were taking people's cash away and forcing them to use CBDCs, but only in targeted areas, right? So they have data, but not everybody is using the CBDCs just yet. At least that's from my knowledge. I don't know what's happened since that time. That was a while ago. But I'm giving that as an example. A lot of these central banks are doing that. So they can experiment. They can, access information on how this is really going, real-time information. But at the same time, it's not fully rolled out. I'm not sure how the EHKD is doing it, but we read that article recently. They gave us some pretty good details on that. But who is deep in Hong Kong? Let me end off with that. Ripple, Bank for International Settlements, and Ripple, hand in hand. They have the Hong Kong CBDC platform. Why? Because of things like this. You see, a lot of the financial leaders in Hong Kong, they're very, very smart, very wise. So they know they need to have a twofold plan, a plan A and a plan B. If the plan A doesn't work, which is the central CBDCs, right, outright from central banks, if that doesn't work and the people don't accept it, they can come in with the other platform, the Ripple-based platforms. Right. They have a wholesale platform and they have a retail platform, and they are the private sector. They're going to come in with a completely different plan, completely different offering. The people are not going to reject them. Ripple doesn't care about your data or anything like that. And the people are going to like that, and they may go for that. And still, they will be hand in hand with the financial leaders that control the governments, period. The businesses around the world run these governments, and they're going to be happy as long as those businesses make money. The ones at the top, those big businesses, big banks, whatever. As long as they make money, they're fine. They don't care how the value comes, as long as it comes. You get what I'm saying? Ooh, look at this. All these regions that the bank coin companies are flourishing in are getting hot. You tell me they're not. Tell me. Qatar. Who's deep in Qatar? Who is, no, come on now. Come on, tell me. No, tell the truth. Tell the truth. Ripple. No, who's deep in the MENA region? Let's just talk there. Let's get to that. Who is deep in the MENA region? Ripple, Hedera. Wait a minute. Whatever. Can any of you tell me? Because I don't cover Zenfin often, although XDC, I'm super bullish on XDC into the future. In the future. Whatever happened to XDC's work in the MENA region? What happened to that? Got quiet, didn't they? Oh, they didn't. And I know for a fact they didn't get quiet because they stopped. Their work is too important. When XDC goes off, in my humble opinion, no guarantees. I don't work for XDC, Zenfin. I don't know these people. Just my humble opinion. But when they go off, oh, Nelly, it should be significant. Considering what they're doing and who they're a part of and who they work with. The panels they sit on and what they're trying to do, they should be The takeoff should be significant, folks. I'm just saying. You don't have to share my excitement. I just get excited. That's just me. I'm just being myself. Now, Qatar launches digital assets lab. The MENA region isn't playing around. They want to be that hub. They want to be the one. I love it. I want all of these countries scrambling and scraping, working with the Bankcoin companies, bringing that value, making everything bigger and bigger. I want that, don't you? You here to make money or not? I am. Not financial advice. I'm just asking a question because that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to fall in love with the tech. So UK is competing. They're rushing. China's rushing. Australia rushing. MENA region definitely rushing. And don't you dare let the United States fool you. Oh, you know what? We might not need a CBDC. Right. That's why last year you were testing out all these DLT systems, right? And you never gave us an update on that. What happened with that? It went great. What happened with that? Why were you testing that? And they said, what did they say? They said, oh, well, we just want to see. We just want to know. Right. Listen, USA, for the folks that have lived here for a long time and we know how you work, we already know there's no secret. I don't know who you're fooling, but it's not us. We know you're working on a system just like when you work on airplanes, right? And you want to keep it a secret, but you got to test it. And you go flying them around and people get pictures of them, right? Then they're on the internet and then you remove them. Right. Come on now. We know. It's okay. Don't worry about it. There's only a few of us that know. The new 1%. I'm just saying, it's my humble opinion. People can disagree. So I'm going to leave you with that. Once again, it's on Ledger Insights. Qatar launches digital assets lab. I'm not going to get too deep with that. I don't have enough time. My apologies. But I feel like I gave my thoughts, right? I gave my thoughts on it. Ripple has a huge hand in a lot of the banks in that region. Go check them out, from Atajari Wafa to QNB. Look this up. I'm giving you facts. Right. So now let's move on here. And all of their different iterations that they control, subsidiaries, whatever that they control, also in that region, which is expansive. Right. So now, wait a minute. Let's see what do we have here. I want to get to some Bitcoin news. I don't want to leave my Bitcoin people hanging. They show love and support just like everybody else. So we got some Bankcoin news in across the board. Let's get some of this Bitcoin news in. It says here, Bitcoin price support at $62,000 must hold if Bitcoin bears step in. Traders, I don't care if the bears step in. Let the bears step in. Let them. It changes nothing. They can't stop anything. The bulls, long term, the bulls are heavenly right now. I'm telling you. Why do I say that? Wait a minute. I know I have this article, folks. I know I have this article. Don't I? I had an article here that's telling you a lot. I'm telling you, the push is beginning. Yeah, that's right. I just read the headline of that one. We're going to jump to this one. It's more important. You got to focus on what's important. Look at this, folks. Listen to this. I said, look at this. Well, I could say look at this also because I put the pictures up most of the time. Listen to this. No, don't do that. Don't pop up the giant video ad. Don't do that. Oh, my goodness. Giant video ad. Why would you do that? Let's go back and see if we can get this off of here. It's causing me problems. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me, good folks. But listen, I just want you to hear this. BlackRock head Mitchnick sees Bitcoin as a risk-off asset. BlackRock crypto head Mitchnick sees Bitcoin as a risk-off asset. Listen, they're getting ready. If that's not a bullish statement, who do you think is going to step on BlackRock? Who do you think is going to win against BlackRock? Whether you think that BlackRock is evil or bad, or a lot of people do. We're talking about money here. See, taking emotions out. These little people that want to bring, because they still want to have their control, right? Control freaks are on the top and the bottom. Just know that. They still want their control over Bitcoin, and they can't let it go. That the big companies, they fumbled the ball, and the big companies came in and they scooped up the ball. And they're about to dunk it. They want that price to explode. BlackRock is letting people know, hey, listen, get out the way. Bitcoin is bullish. This is what BlackRock is telling people. He's letting them know this is a risk-off asset. Look at this. That's serious business. And they're leading the way. They do it first, then everybody else follows. Then Wisdom Tree follows, then Valkyrie. So it's just getting started. Wait until it starts hitting the just from Bloomberg. This is mainstream. So is this the beginning of the mainstream push? I don't know. I'm going to keep my eye on it for sure. But the fact that BlackRock is so bullish on it, I told you they're not here to make a little bit of money. That doesn't make sense. If that's the case, then where does Bitcoin go from here? What was that, 62, 63,000 today? Something like that. Where does it go from here? They're not here for it to go to 70,000. That's nothing. They're not here for it to go to 80,000. That's nothing. People better look into BlackRock. They play to win. And let me tell you something. If BlackRock is involved, despite what Vanguard may say, Vanguard wants the same thing. Why? Because Vanguard, the biggest holder of BlackRock is Vanguard. And the biggest holder of Vanguard is BlackRock. They're really one. Two arms on the same body, but they're a giant, so people can't see that most of the time. They wanted to. And when you have two of the biggest financial organizations in on it, when they want it to go up, when they're telling you it's bullish, that's serious business. Serious business. Oh, man. You know what? We're going to end off here. Man, I had a little bit of gold news. Video's getting a little long. Video's getting a tad bit long. I noticed now it's not the people that mind the longer video. It's the algorithm that really is sensitive to video length. That algorithm, you have to cater to the algorithm almost more than the people. I'm telling you, if you want to do this YouTube thing. We'll end off with this right here. I'm not going to go too deep. Gold price. This is coming from kitco.com. Gold price could hit $2,700 by mid-2025. This was released today, September 23rd. Gold has been one of the best performing assets of 2024, climbing to a new record highs on multiple occasions amid a backdrop of deteriorating economic conditions and nonstop debt printing. I love how they say that. And according to one bank, which bank is that? Just drop the name. Don't keep me waiting in suspense. I don't like it. The rally is expected to continue with, I like that. No, never mind. Keep going. Excuse my complaints. Please continue. With the prospect of lower interest rates and rising geopolitical tensions. Quote, I told you, wait until those banks collapse. We got more to talk about that too as well later. Quote, gold reached an all-time high. We know about that. We know about that. So this is coming from UBS. Okay, wait a minute. They said that the geopolitical tensions are likely to, quote, extend well beyond the fourth quarter. Of course. Who doesn't think that? That's a no-brainer in my humble opinion. So the analyst said that in their view, this rally could go further, unquote, giving price a target of $2,700 an ounce by mid-2025. All right. So we've heard from other banking giants. They're expecting gold, multiples of them, for gold to go to $3,000. I believe I even saw one recently that said 4,500 next year. I don't understand. Listen. Do I think 3,000 is possible 2025? Yes, I do. In order for 4,000, for it to hit a 4,000, I mean, you'd have to have a massive amount of banks collapse or geopolitical tension that I don't think the world really wants. I'm going to put it like that. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.